Crypt. Conquer. Store. Conquer. Practice. Tutorial. Basics. Advanced offense.
When you get older, plainer, saner, when you remember all the danger we came from. Burning like embers, falling tender, long for the days of no surrender years ago. And will you know? Smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. All I ever wanted was you. I'll never get to heaven 'cause I don't know how. Let's raise our glass up to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me I've been lost on you. Oh, just as you could cut me loose. Oh, everything I've lost on you is I lost on you. Oh, wish that I could see the expectations of the central expectations of you. Hold me like you know you lost your patience. Tell me that you would hate me always when you're still mine. So smoke 'em if you got 'em, 'cause it's going down. All I ever wanted was you. Take a drink of heaven, this can turn around. Let's raise our glass up to all the things I've lost on you. Oh, tell me I've been lost on you. Oh, just as you could cut me loose. Oh, after everything I've lost on you, is I lost on you.
Evet, üstten programda.
was sponsored by carrots. We're actually alright if you put other stuff on us. I wouldn't consider my parents health nuts, more like health kernels. They would never buy unhealthy snacks, but they wouldn't force me and my siblings to go outside and play because it was always burning hot. And we just licked the melted candy off the sidewalk anyways. They would never buy sugary cereal. The most sugary cereal my parents got was Honey Nut Cheerios. But my mom would mix the Honey Nut Cheerios with regular ones to make it more healthy or something. So I would start every day spending 15 minutes picking out the regular Cheerios from the cereal bowl. That's right, my parents didn't buy us Cable, Cocoa Puffs, or candy. My life sucked. We were allowed to eat sugary cereal for one day out of the year, and that was on Christmas morning. It's a fun tradition, and we still do it to this day. As a kid, I would always get jealous when my friends would pull out their Lunchables and tell me how much their family ate out and all the sugary cereals they got to eat. Meanwhile, I had a PB&J sandwich on wheat bread with the crust still on, but it's okay because I like the crust. But now looking back, I'm just so grateful that my mom cared enough about my health to instill these healthy eating habits into me at a young age. I mean, I don't follow them anymore because I live on my own and I don't know how to cook and bagel bites taste so darn good, but I'm still thankful my mom taught me what I should eat. Now, if there's any parents watching this going, I like the way this James's mom character thinks, good. I would recommend to all parents that you should be teaching your kids healthy eating habits as soon as possible. I definitely didn't appreciate it at the time, but now that I'm older and wiser, I'm thankful that I like the taste of wheat bread. My parents had a saying, the whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. They would always get wheat bread. Even for hot dog and hamburger buns, they got wheat. Some of you might have had to use sandwich bread as hot dog buns. You're poor, I get it, but at least you didn't have to use wheat bread. However, now that I live on my own, I still get the wheat bread because I don't want to die young. I still have YouTube videos to make. Some things never change, I guess. Except I do get the white hot dog buns. The wheat ones are still gross. When I was a very little kid, my dad's work was throwing a barbecue get-together thing, and I got to eat as many hot dogs on white bread as I could handle. But the best part of it all was I got to wash it down with soda. Listen, I was very sugar deprived back home. I had to catch up on all the sugar I was missing out on. I don't remember what the soda was exactly, but let's just say for the sake of this story,
Yeah, you want me to stream Hypixel when I'm playing a different game, but when I actually stream Hypixel, you don't join.
To all the white powdery stuff they added into that drink. Pretty soon, my tummy started to get the rumblies, and I had no idea what was causing it. So I told my dad,
I quit that game.
My tummy hurts, and he said, it's probably because you're dehydrated. Here, have some soda. And I still respected my dad at that age and thought he knew what he was talking about, so I drank more soda. And then I threw up and my dad said, we should eat. I mentioned this next story in my first book, available in bookstores near you. Be on the lookout for book number 2, coming out at the end of March. But one time my mom bought a giant 3-pound bag of Skittles. I forgot what she bought them for, but they definitely weren't for us. She locked them away in a closet because she knew what us kids would do if we got our grubby little hands on the Skittles. This wasn't the first time my mom had to hide candy from us. But this time, she forgot to lock the closet, leaving the Skittles unprotected. And me and my older brother ate the entire thing. And we would have gotten away with it, but then something came up. Puke. I threw up on the family room carpet. My mom saw how rainbow the throw up was and immediately put 2 and 2 together and knew that we had gotten into our Skittles. The funny part of this story is that my older brother got punished, but I didn't. Because according to my mom, I had already suffered enough. That's why that story is in the chapter titled, Perks of Being the Younger Brother. Anyways, don't eat so much candy that you throw up. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about M&Ms for a while, so to make it go faster, instead of saying M&Ms, I'm just gonna say, In one of my older videos, I said that my favorite candy bar was, and every time I would tell people that, they would always say, that's not a candy bar. But then something interesting happened. A year after that video was posted, actually released a bar version of their candy. So now I can absolutely say that is my favorite candy bar and not get any weird looks. Someone at the marketing team sent me a box of candy bars, and I think they wanted me to promote it, but because I said that are my favorite candy bar, whenever I go to a convention, sometimes you guys bring me candy, which is very thoughtful, but you know, I like other things too, like Oreos and Twix and honey. You know, I'm just saying you don't have to bring me all the time. When I was visiting London, I went to the store with my friends Adam and Mads, and if you don't know about the London
bullshit,
store,
man. Hate that fucking tutorial. Like, oh, do this, and it fucking works. Fuck you.
The largest sweet store in the world. So it was kind of big. Once I stepped inside, my first thought was, okay, this is too much. It was like the candy forest scene in Willy Wonka, except it was all chocolate and expensive. In one part of the store, you could make your own custom mms with a picture and 2 phrases. So for the picture, I Googled my cartoon self, held up my phone to the camera, and it bloody worked, right? And for the
So you do it
phrases,
straight after,
naturally, we
when
wanted
I've
to write
fucking been doing
something that
this
was
stupid
meaningful,
account.
so we wrote Mad Stinks and Adam Smells. But the employee didn't allow us to write that because it was too negative and went against the brand. So knowing we were not allowed to roast each other, the next phrases we decided to print was Get Mads
You have to
and
do that
something else
often.
YT. It wasn't creative, but without being able to make fun of each other, we didn't have a lot to work with. But those phrases weren't allowed either because they were the names of some YouTubers, so they got flagged by the system and they told us, you'll need permission from the YouTuber even though you're both right here. Listen, boys, I'm just a employee. I don't want to get sued. On one hand, I'm glad that has a system in place to prevent
I'm
people
pretty sure
from
that's it
stealing.
as well, doesn't want
But
to
on the
fucking
other
count.
hand, it's just What do you think we're gonna do with them? So after 2 failed attempts at getting the phrase we wanted,
was it
we
as well?
settled on getting
You had to do it doubled.
and
Okay.
Mads! At least I still got my cannonball guy printed, even though technically this image is copyrighted, so you'll be hearing from my lawyers soon. One of the disadvantages of being a YouTuber is the lack of benefits. We don't even have dental. And with all the junk food I'm eating and the flossing I'm not doing, I should probably see one. Can I confess something? I didn't know dentists were optional. I thought they summoned you to their offices like jury duty. That's what it felt like when I was a kid. I've never gotten a cavity though, at least not one that I know of. So at least I'm doing something right. Now comes the part of the video where I give you advice on eating healthy. But I'm still working on that myself. And when I don't know what to eat, I can't help but biting down on a
come
delicious
on.
carrot. Carrots are the most popular vegetable in the
That's
world,
it.
having been nominated as the best
Right,
orange
well,
thing
fuck that,
ever.
well.
Use code ODD1 next time you purchase a carrot to get 5,000 free
What?
carrot points and a bunch of weird looks at the grocery store. Give your body
That's
the
clearly
food
what
it
I'm
needs.
doing.
You wouldn't pour soda in a car engine and expect it to run. Of course, that's not really the best metaphor to use because you also wouldn't pour water into a car and expect it to run. I guess everyone drink gasoline because cars and people are the same. But the point is, you've only got one body, so you should take care of it. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the first video of 2020.
This
Did
game
any
was
of you
working
eat sugary
perfect before I
cereal
started
as a
streaming
kid?
as well.
Cool, me neither. I want to get sappy for a second and thank everyone for supporting me. It's crazy how far we've come in like, how long has it been? 6 years? Many of you have noticed some Odd Ones Out merch popping up at Hot Topic, GameStop, Box Lunch, and Target. And all of this has happened because of your support, and it really means the world to me. I want to give a big shout out to my amazing team who worked on this video. All of their socials are in the description. I wouldn't have been able to finish this video without you. I'll see you cheeky blokes at VidCon London in February, and maybe I'll try some Jammy Dodgers while I'm there. And one last sugary sweet message before I go. Next time you go to the store to buy some junk food, remember to wear your seatbelt.
You know those parent or adult parties your parents had when you were little, where all the adults would get together at a house and push all their kids off into another room and say, "Now play together." Well, one time when I was probably about 6 or 7, my family had a parent party, and all the kids decided to play hide and seek together. So I ran into the bathroom and hid behind the shower curtain, and looking back at this, I realized how horrible of a hiding spot that is, because that's basically the only spot you can hide in the bathroom, and I probably would have been found easily in a matter of minutes. But anyway, I was sitting there in the bathtub when someone walked into the bathroom, and I thought it was a seeker, so I stayed really quiet, but then I heard the door shut and the sound of someone opening the toilet lid. It was definitely not a seeker, or one of the kids for that matter. Turns out, I had to sit in the bathtub completely motionless, listening to some guy pee for a good amount of time. And the whole time I was so scared he would look behind the shower curtain and find me just sitting in the bathtub, thinking I was trying to watch people pee or something. So eventually he left and I could get out of the bathroom, and after that I was done. I was done playing hide and seek for a very long time after that. And no, he didn't wash his hands.
Am I just clicking too fast? Is that what's happening here? Let's see.
Well, she works at a popular frozen yogurt place and has some pretty
Nope,
crazy
I'm not
customers
clicking too
with some
fast.
pretty funny stories. And I wanted to share one of her stories with you all. Everyone
I can't
here
click it
at
slow, you
Kate-
kidding me?
Okay.
Why am I clicking it fast? So I can't click it slow.
Now, a little background on yogurt handling. Every night at 8:15, one of the employees has to clean and drain one machine that holds the yogurt flavor. This means that customers can't order that flavor for the rest of the night. My coworker, we'll call him Kevin, was over draining the salted caramel flavor, which just so happens to be the most popular yogurt flavor. Since Kevin was over handling the machine, I was the one who had to take the customers' orders. Hello, what can I
It's
get you?
gonna drive me crazy on.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but we're draining that machine tonight. Is there another flavor you'd like instead? Oh no, sir, that's the only machine we're draining tonight.
Yeah, I think you song quested this. Yeah, you did.
I looked over at Kevin, who was overhearing the old man's nonsense. We made eye contact, like, what the heck? And he walked over to
That
the
was
old
it, is
man
all I
and
was just
started
like.
explaining why he had to drain the machine, emphasizing the fact that we only have to
Like, my
clean
guy's
one
jumping too
machine.
high. That's why I can't get it.
By this time, we figured that the old man was just crazy, and there wasn't any way we could reason with him. So we stopped trying to explain, and Kevin started suggesting
There
other
we go.
flavors we might enjoy other than salted caramel. Okay. Then after the old man's group finished their order, they all grabbed the yogurt and walked outside. Did you ring anyone up? They all left pretty quickly.
No, did you?
No. Turns out they all left the lovely old man to pick up the entire check by himself. After figuring out all the costs of each order, Kevin says,
Okay, so your total is going to be $27.89. What?
You made it extra expensive, didn't you?
No, sir, I wouldn't do that.
Is he telling the truth? Because I don't like that.
no sir, you can trust Kevin. He's very trustworthy. Kevin started trying to explain even more, but the old man cut him off again.
I have to do this as well for a trophy. This is the only reason I'm doing it.
Okay, so now it was just me and the old man. So your total is $27.89. While paying, he tried to make a little bit of pleasant conversation with me, as if that whole
That
dramatic
means
situation
toughness.
didn't even occur. And then he gave me a tip.
Just make sure that the dimwit co-workers don't get Kate, you weren't.
You don't have to, you have to use the frickin' stick to do it. Kinky.
Thanks sir.
You have to
a nice
tap
day."
the stick like so lightly
And
to
then
do it.
he walked away.
So basically what the moral of the story is old men can take their frozen yogurt very seriously.
Can't,
So be careful out there, everyone.
Hey guys, welcome back! It's really been too long, and I apologize for not uploading an animation for 2 freaking months. But I hope you guys can forgive me, and I will try to upload more during the summer. Anyway,
I'm
I have
tapping it so
a few
feckin' lightly on.
One, do you notice this beautiful fan art that I put in the end card? I decided that I want to include your talent, so if you want your fan art featured at the end of an animation, I have a link for that in the description. Also, if you haven't seen my FNAF 3 animation for Cupquake, you can find that in the other animations I've made playlist on my channel. Basically, if you haven't seen me upload something in a really long time, you should check that playlist just in case I made an animation for someone else and it's on their channel. One more thing, I opened up an ask.fm, which is like a little place that you can ask me silly questions. I've only announced this through Twitter so far, and I've already answered so many questions, and it's so much fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for little updates and silly things I might say at
I click it way too fast, I think that's what the
I can't
problem
see
is.
the freaking S of Jane Animations.
God damn it,
The Twitter
I fell
tag,
up.
which really bothers me, but whatever. Also, if you're into artsy stuff, you can check out my Google art where I can fit the S, so that one is Jane Animations. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
I was a child once.
Alright.
Alright, into the stories. I was a good kid growing up. I did what my parents said, followed their rules, ate what they put on my plate, maybe a bit too well. Flashback to the green bean incident. My mom told me that when I was a small toddler, sometimes I'd have horrible tantrums and rip all the sheets off my bed and sweep everything on my shelves onto the floor in an emotional outrage. She'd have to crack my door open
Are you
afterwards and
Uncle
say,
Kenny?
"Are you done?" So she could help me put everything back. If I wasn't, she'd lock me in my room for a bit longer as I continued being an indignant little tornado and try again in 10 minutes. I've grown out of that phase, luckily. I'm so conditioned to want to follow the rules and not do anything bad that people on multiple occasions have told me, "Jaden, you're so good all the time. You've got to be rebellious every once in a while." And I say, no. Is that a start? I was such an obedient kid, I've only been grounded once in my entire life. And that story is pretty pathetic. I was maybe 6 at the time and my parents were going out for a date night or whatever to get out of the house. Understandable. Jax was a pretty exhausting kid to deal with, so they left us with a babysitter. Now, as a kid, having a babysitter is emotionally conflicting. On one hand, you don't want this rando middle school kid to be telling you what to do. Go to bed. You're not my mom. You're not even old enough to go to the bathroom at school without asking for permission. Don't tell me what to do. But on the other hand, babysitters let you get away with way more than your parents. Oh, yeah, Mom always lets us have 3 Oreos. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry. Normally, 2 Oreos. So it was getting late that night, and before it was my bedtime, I wanted to play outside on our rickety little playset. Now, I'd already gotten ready for bed. I was in my pajamas and brushing my teeth, but I figured it's not past my bedtime yet, so everything's fair game. So the babysitter watched me swing on the swings for like 5 minutes and then go down the slide one time. In the morning, when my parents were back, I woke up and they were like, "You're in trouble." Did I do something? What do you think you did? I don't know. Why do adults say that to children, by the way? What do you think you did? I don't know. Seems like you don't even know what I did and are trying to get me to rat myself out. The babysitter told us
Oh, it says.
that
I
last
think.
night you played in the backyard in your pajamas. What? We don't want you playing outside in your pajamas. You're grounded tomorrow. What the fuck? So I was grounded for a day because I played outside in my pajamas. But I cheated
you're
like
supposed to
5
do that
minutes of
brutality,
TV by
usually.
sneak watching from around the corner, so who's the rebellious one now? There's this golf course a block or 2 down from my house that had a little lake, and my dad and I would ride our bikes to it every once in a while to feed the ducks. Also, yes, I know ducks shouldn't eat bread. If you didn't know that, don't feed wild ducks bread. Give them candy bars. We were feeding the ducks, minding our own business, when all of a sudden we hear from across the lake, "Mabel! Mabel!" There was a neighborhood of houses next to the golf course so people could look out and see the golfers. And in the distance across the lake, some lady was yelling, "Mabel! Mabel!" Wonder where Mabel is. "Mabel, get over here! What are you doing?" She's talking to me. "Mabel, you're in so much trouble!" My dad and I didn't know what to do. This lady in the distance thought I was Mabel when I was not Mabel. I am Jaden, but she didn't know that.
This is just annoying me now.
"Mabel, what are you doing? Get back here!" We pedaled away. Now, let's put ourselves in the point
Yeah,
of
the
view of this
crackhead
lady
video.
across the lake. She walks out into her backyard. What a wonderful evening. I think I'm gonna treat myself to some relaxation time out in my backyard. Working
I was
my
doing the
9-to-5
exact
job
same
of
thing over and over
managing
again, and
3 children as a single
somehow
mom sure is
the
hard
6th time it
work,
worked.
especially since my doctor says I need to lower my stress because it's starting to take a toll on my depression. Maybe a bit too much creative interpretation. She's in the backyard. She looks out across the lake. And what? Who's that? Is that little old Mabel across the lake? How'd she get there? And wait, is that a strange man with her? What the? Mabel, what are you doing? Get over here!
Yeah, thank you.
Girl
This
is
game
in
wasn't
much
so
trouble when she
glitchy.
gets back home. I told her so many times about the dangers of. Is she running away with him? I hope Mabel wasn't in too much trouble when she got back home. Sorry, Mabel. This
Like,
story
I'm
didn't
doing
happen
exactly what it tells me.
necessarily
It
during
doesn't
my
wanna work.
childhood, more teenagehood, but I think it's kind of funny, so I'm telling it. I went ice skating with a couple of friends one winter, maybe when I was 15, 16. It was busy, but
Oh,
not
okay, if
too
it's
busy.
painful then-
Side
if it's
note,
painful
one
then
time my
just
friends
leave.
invited me to go ice skating, and we were the only 2 there. It was dope, but also felt like a weird ice rink Twilight Zone. Anyway, so we were skating around, you know, like what we went there to do. I'm not anywhere near close to a good ice skater, but I hadn't fallen on my butt or head, so I considered it a successful day. After a while, we decided to do one more loop around the rink, and right before we were done, this little boy skates up to me. I wasn't very old at the time, but he was definitely younger than me, maybe 13 or something, I don't know. I looked down at him confused, and he goes, "I like your hat." Oh, by the way, I was wearing a knitted hat that looked like a raccoon, so...
You ain't cool.
Will
Ain't
you
what?
hold something for me? Oh, okay. And I'll never forget what he says. This is possibly one of the smoothest things I've ever heard from a little 13-year-old boy. So he goes, "Will you hold something for me?" And I go, like, okay, what is it? And he goes, "My hand." I had no expectations on what he was gonna say, but that one definitely caught me off guard. I was so startled by his, what would you even call that, pickup line request, that I stumbled back, forgetting I was on ice skates. I didn't fall, but I definitely did one of those weird twisty maneuvers that your body pulls when it's off balance and trying not to fall down. The boy skated off because I think he wasn't expecting to actually physically startle me. Thinking about it, if you were to try and use a pickup line on someone and their immediate response is to be so surprised they almost fall backwards, that...
Conquer.
I don't know how to interpret that. Obviously, it's not what you want, but, I mean, that's gotta be some sort of achievement. I wonder what would have happened if I decided to say yes to that kid instead of being a freaked out spaz. Maybe there was something there and we could have had a whole future with each other and had great times together.
So he's
and I'll
supposed to
never
pick me
know.
first.
He's
I
out
think
there
that's
in the
what I'm
world
supposed to.
right now and I'm talking about him and he probably doesn't even know it. Do you like to make up fake life scenarios for other people? I'm gonna pretend he's going to university to be an orthopedic surgeon. Look it up. Okay, I'll just tell you. It's a doctor who specializes in hands. See where I'm... Yeah.
I'm not
What if
doing
he
this
tells
again.
his story every once in a while
Hello.
to his friends? Dude, no, like, this one time when I was like 13, I ice skated up to this random girl in an ice rink and asked her to hold my hand, even though I didn't know her.
I completed it.
Lol, random. She slipped on the ice though and it...
Your mum was useless in bed.
skated away.
Fuck you, kid.
Meh, yeah, nah, I actually don't really care. My life's pretty fine without him. Have fun with your hand surgeries, my dude.
Time out if you
Bye.
want. I can't be honest, people like that today, so.
Combat League. Rank casual. King of the
Bitch, I've been playing this game for ages. Like I must be fucking bored of it or something, that's why I'm not doing that good at it.
I'm feeling so high when we're together. Yeah, let's make it last forever. We'll stay. We are the perfect lovers. Don't care about the others.
What's up, cool players?
See what would happen. Go on.
Niggas can't hit me, man. I wanted to put all that to walk in front of the TV.
It's like that, yeah, so that's it.
Local. Fight. Story.
I don't even know what we want to.
Crypt.
Bitch, I'm not being a fucking child, it's a fucking piece of shit game. Simple as that. Fuck yourself, stupid little kid on. There's no point in me getting these fucking chests as well, because they'll twist when I'm getting these fucking chests. After there's all fucking stream as well. Like I have fuck all to do now. Because I can't do all these trophies on fucking stream. Like, why do I care about this fucking piece of shit game? It's worth the fucking money. Yeah, it's like if anyone wants to send against them, and I'm not gonna buy them. Yeah, I'll get the trophies off stream. Cause I got those little kids like that. Come on. I can't even do fucking fatality, you know. I'll push those whatever. Oh, I can't fucking do it, man. I might both type these.
You never answer my surveys. In fact, you don't answer anybody's surveys. No. No, I don't. Why, though? I just hate people.
In the first house, they don't fucking work anymore.
first beat is right on time, right on top. Like they say that. They say that. Like they say that.
Online.
Monday,
Tournament.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Local.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Scorpion.
Sunday.
Sub-Zero.
Hey yo, I don't like fucking torture around.
The Hourglass.
Big. I put my knee up, and as you put it straight up, you put it that way and turn it, and when you turn it, body roll at the same time.
Ma, it's so cold, I think I'm done with icebergs. Believe her, she gon' die. Well, bitch, you done with life. Okay,
That first beat is right on time, right on top. Like they say that. They say that. Like they say that.
goddamn right. I'm gon' work it. Alright. I'm gon' work it. Girl with all that. Get another bitch. Got a riding dick screaming hee-haw. Make me proud, girl.
Online.
Your age, your height, city and state, how many fans you got? Are you single? Are you taken? Do you got kids? Your
Combat
race?
League. Casual.
What's your longest relationship you was in?
Combat League. Ranked. Casual. Versus. Casual. Versus.
Hey yo, I'm 15 and I look a lot older than I am, check.
You were just staring at my fucking ass, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
Little fucking pervert.
That first beat is right on time, right on top. Like they say that. They say that. Like they say that.
When I popped off.
Respect me, pussy, don't be disrespect. I said, woo. I said, I know.
Hey, what you doing with all that ass? Let me touch it.
Hey, Shelly, you know what to do. You know what to do. Hey.
Big. Johnny.
Hop out the push with a baddie. Got a nice face and a fatty. Do what I said like a.
But she talk like she Jamaican. Girl, break your back to this.
Black Dragon Fight Club.
When both of your feet are flat on the ground, but your butt is not touching the ground.
Uno, dos, tres, y tato. I got your man in the back cooking taco.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Okay, my thing wouldn't work.
Put your hand on the wall. Put your hand down.
Is my fucking things changed? What? Okay, but online you change things. Well, obviously it's gonna fucking work if my thing doesn't fucking work.
Drop that ass and pop it like a shootout. I pull them panties down, he's smiling like they bought the food out. Up on the jet in my dance, I'm skinny little bitch, still shaking that. And ain't shit free, nigga, show me tech.
Put a finger down if you've given yourself a piercing or a stitching. Put a finger down if you've killed someone that you like them over text. Put a finger down if you've injured yourself trying to do a trick on a trampoline. Put a finger down if you've grabbed a hot flat iron or curling. Put a finger down if you've ever cheated. Put a finger down if you've ever walked through a sliding glass door because you thought
Fucking dick trying to try it on me.
Put a finger down if you've ever caught feelings for someone because of a dream that you had. Put a finger down if you've ever pooped outside. Put a finger down if you've ever publicly picked your nose. Put a finger down if you've ever been responsible for a car accident. Put a finger down if you've ever flipped your eyelids inside out. Put a finger down if the person working at the movie theater has said, enjoy your movie, and you said, you too.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian West, and something you might not know about me is that I'm a really good cook, and I love to cook.
Girl, I wanna see you twerk. I throw a little money to twerk.
You were just staring at my fucking ass, weren't you? You little fucking
I like how this is good staring ass, but they don't even look that pretty anyway. There's some ugly bitches on TikTok, so.
Girl, I wanna see you twerk. I throw a little money to twerk.
New challenge, you have to get onto the ground, hands behind your back the whole time, and you can't roll on your sides. You gotta lay down on your stomach without smashing your face. Can you do it?
Yeah, I'll put your fucking butt.
First beat is right on time, right on top, like they say that, they say that, like they say that.
Fucking spammies. That's a song that I'm gonna play.
Right on top, like they say that, they say that, like they say that.
Round 2. Fight.
Fuck's sake, man.
Oh, no!
Sake. So I mean, you have to fucking try in this too, man. These dumbass came in here. Fucking dumb in this game. Do you know what I mean? How fucking try that so you have to be just to win one? Let's smash your fucking controller or some shit. I want a fucking rematch. What? So you never can get out of the fucking game? You got a fucking game and smash this fucking controller. I'm picking fucking up as well. Fucking down. I'm done. I want to quit from the fucking second watch anyway. I'm not playing to fucking try the game.
God! No! God, please, no! No!
Online.
No!
Combat. Ranked set.
See when you spam buttons that much I just killed my controller off? That was fully charged all this one.
my hero.
What's your problem now?
If you really cared about me, you'd fight for me.
First of all, I'm not sure I
didn't
really
even-
care about you. And second, what do you
He's
think
done
I've been
2
doing?
bars on it, or
Tad
wasn't going to
fights
be
for
dead.
me, Gord fights for me, Johnny. Well,
AI
certainly
You
fights
done
for
this
me.
game.
Turn
In fact, they're all about to fight for me. Right now. Everyone apart from you.
Who's fighting?
Tad and all the rich kids are coming here to fight Johnny and his boys. All because of me. I'm like Helen of Troy.
So there's gonna be a big fight? A winner-take-all sort of thing?
Yes, everyone's involved apart from you. I'm Helen of Troy, and you're more interested in boys called Troy.
Whatever. See you
Yeah,
later.
whatever, just game. It's like, what game am I supposed to play if I don't choose games? I don't know. This is the second one I played. I can't remember which Mortal Kombat I played, but I played one of them. One of the other ones. And it was shit then. You know, on Quick Point, you have to find all the chests. Like 250 on 200. You find 200 chests. Like Fortnite, just try hard again, there's no point.
That's who. Who won? You. Who? Jimmy Hopkins. Correct. That's right, ladies. Me. I'm the daddy now. You treacherous little snake. You think you're tough, huh? You don't need any more of this, Johnny. You laugh at me. You turn on me. You get it on with that harlot who I love. I'm gonna destroy you! Alright, calm down, man. It's cool. You lost. No big deal. We can all
Yeah,
be friends.
I think you need like 200 off them as well.
Kid, finished!
I've got like around 30.
Get out of here! The cops! You're lucky, Jimmy. I'll kick your ass later. Get back here! Get back here!
I don't know where this guy's gone. He's right there. I might just take it. Yeah, I'm 57 myself. 57%.
Hey, Jimmy! Help me get to the crane! Alright, boys, good work!
Yeah, I just don't know what to stream anymore. Because every time I try like a different game, then someone says I'm bad at the game. Of course I'm going to be bad at the game, so tell me you at it. That's why I'm streaming beauty on Saturday and Sundays. Just because I can't be asked people like that. And people just get to find out. And then they'll leave a dislike copies. I don't care. I thought I had a bleak earlier, but clearly not. Someone just got me up. At least I didn't stream myself with, stream myself with the collecting all the trophies because people don't want to see that.
I give up. You can have
Damn it.
What are you talking about, Johnny? Lola, you win. She's yours. This has nothing to do with her, man. I don't care. You can keep that slut for yourself. What? You don't want her? Then why did you do this? Why'd you fight? Just to prove you're tougher than me? That's right. And don't you or your boys forget it. I'm tougher than you. So maybe now you'll stop bullying
Wow.
You work for
I don't know if I can collect this chest. I just want to get over there. Go try one time and just check the girls. Just in case someone comes in. I can't even collect it anyway. I don't know what that noise was, but... I just toys in the fridge. Oh, freezer, good freezer. Dude, loopy. Is it? Maybe I shouldn't be here anymore. Both in the same boat then. Even though I feel like that.
Story. Local. Story.
Just like no other jobs I can get anymore. I mean I can get them but they're just grindy so there's like no point.
Conquer. Story. Chapter 12. End of encounter. Chapter 12. End of encounter.
Minion! Minion!
Powers of time. Tower. Classic. Crypt. Local. Turn online. AI battle.
I was like missing me and his dog got along really well. Because we're both fucking crazy. I wonder if he has neighbours, right? What does the neighbours think's going on? Or did just he this guy seen on?
Round 2.
Imagine reading a post.
AI battle. Fight.
It's worse and worse.
AI battle. Character. Collect character.
Nonsense. You just don't want to read it anymore. And the whole ordeal is just awful. But the post isn't over yet. It goes on and on and on and on. When you stop waiting, can't stop waiting. Started this and you're going to finish no matter what. I'm Moxie Quitter. We will break up soon. I can't wipe like this forever. So don't challenge me. What's this? I'm still waiting my prompts. Have a word of determination. You have completed the post. Good job.
As some of you might know, James, Dom, Ross, Aaron, and I went on a tour back in October doing a show called Scribble Showdown. It was the first tour we've all been on, besides Aaron, because he didn't wait for us. The shows were all super fun, and we all enjoyed touring with each other a lot, and honestly, it was the most entertaining thing I've done in a while. But this video isn't about the shows. It's about the in-betweens. We had to perform in Boston, Brooklyn, Austin, San Francisco, Medford, Seattle, and Portland, all within 11 days. So you know that those off times are gonna get
I'm pretty
a
much
little
done with this
hectic
game.
while we're just trying to survive and not leave our souls behind. The first leg of the tour, we took flights
So
to our
basically completed in like 2
Boston and
days.
Brooklyn had no out of the ordinary
Like the rest of
stuff
the
going
trophies
on
are just
besides the
grindy
fact that Ross,
trophies.
Dom, and I were
Like
super
really
addicted
grindy.
to Pokemon Go, and we're spinning Pokestops left and right together on that grind. Don't worry, it only took 2 days for peer pressure to crack James down enough to download it and get addicted.
And I can't do them
We
on
arrived in
stream
Austin
because
on
if
the
someone
3rd,
comes
and
in
this was
then
our first completely free day.
you know what I'm saying?
Ross
I
and Aaron
really built the
wanted to
game.
get some Texan barbecue, so we all went to dinner at this
Like,
little
okay,
barbecue
I know
chain
this.
they heard was really good. Everyone got their food and we're in heaven, except for me because of the vegan check. But honestly, it did look really good, and I was glad they were enjoying it. Afterwards, Aaron and James wanted to go to a card shop for Magic the Gathering cards since a new pack was coming out. So we headed over there, and one of the employees' names was Jojo, and he was the dog, and I miss him. The next day, we got into the van to head to the venue, and Ross just goes, "So, did anyone else have a rough night last night?" Turns out, Ross, Dom, and Aaron all got food poisoning from the barbecue. James and I were safe because I didn't
Like, how
eat
do you
any,
do this game that
I don't
goodly
know, I
anyway?
guess James is a weird.
Like, I don't
The
get
next free
that.
day we had was in San Francisco. We were a good
Like
5
goggling
days
or
into
whatever.
traveling, and some of us couldn't clothes to wear. Instead
Is
of
it just
finding
me? I
a
just
lost
can't be asked
set,
for
we
games
headed over
anymore.
to a Target nearby to just buy new ones. After shopping a bit, we noticed there was a huge arcade right next to us. Of course,
Like these games have just got really bad all the time it's gone on.
but what caught Ross and James' eyes was this big, elaborate VR setup where the players are strapped into these adult baby walkers looking thing. I mean, anyone with eyes could tell this thing was jank as hell, but that just made it more essential to play. Ross asked the guy at the stand if they could play. The guy said they needed arcade cards to scan, so they went and did that, and when they came back, the guy was finishing up working at the bumper car booth, looked over at us, and just walked out of the arcade and left.
Rude.
We got another person over and Ross and James got set up, and I think this video explains the whole thing.
What happened to Raiden?
He is part of me, bound to my soul. He made me a god. For now, at least.
After the San Francisco show, we switched over to travel by tour bus, which we were all super excited for. There were 12 bunk beds, 2 lounge areas, a TV where we all played Smash on, and 1 bathroom. The only main rule was you can't poop on the bus. I won't get into details, but technically you can poop on the bus, but you essentially destroy it from the inside out. So no pooping on the bus. This is the pinnacle of luxury. Given that information, we all got mild poop anxiety. As soon as you're told you can't poop within a certain window of time, it becomes your body's personal goal to aim for those hours and those hours only. Luckily, James, Dom, Aaron, and I were okay, but it hit Ross hard. Maybe it was the fact he got the worst case of food poisoning out of all of us, but he couldn't poop if his life depended on it. And it kinda did. He went 2 days without a single poop, and he was scared. By the time we got to Oregon, he was going crazy. We all checked into the motel rooms. Our tour manager Matt looked for us to shower and finally do laundry, and had a bit of time to spare. So, as the friends we are, we decided to dedicate it to trying to help Ross poop. Aaron shared some poop exercises he said always helped him, and I pulled up the song on YouTube my friend showed me that was titled Music That Makes You Poop, and with all variables combined, I think it was working.
I still don't know why would you even do that in there. You just put something in his gun and lay on the floor. Just try and crap yourself. I mean, I've got a month. But like, you have to like, be careful what you eat though.
We to just walk up to the window, but to no avail. They didn't have enough characteristics to pass as a car. So they had to turn to the only option they had. Call an Uber to go through the drive-thru in. It worked. So basically all of us had Taco Bell for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were living like kings over here. In Seattle we got to the theater, and now we're in another room for us to shower in. I wanted to wash my face and wash to freshen up, so as we were walking out to the room, Matt grabbed us and said, "You walk in, don't talk to the concierge, and don't even look at it. Just go straight to the elevator and head up to the floor." We walked in and did exactly what Matt said. Didn't talk to anyone, didn't even breathe in anyone's throat. No oxygen. Just went over to the elevator, pressed the button, and then out of nowhere, the manager pops out of a mystery door right next to us that we didn't even know was a door and goes, "What room is it going to?" Dude, he was like an NPC in a video game that teleports in front of you to the next going out of bounds. Ross and I were stunned and just went, 601, and the manager goes, "You're not the person who booked that room. I've known every guest in their respective rooms in this hotel since 1975. You're not allowed in there. No visitor policy." What kind of hotel has a no visitor policy? It's a hotel. Visitors is their business. So we went back to Matt and explained what happened. One of the managers at the theater went over to talk to the manager in the hotel because the hotel owns the venue. But the thing that was really annoying to us was that we were the ones working at the venue, which directly affects the amount of rooms they sell. I should give them some slack though. To their credit, they did tell us they let one more of us go in the room and $50. So, not to name drop or anything, but would I recommend you stay at the hotel next to the Moore Theater in Seattle? No. But the theater was really nice to us and the Seattle audience was great. Before each show we had a VIP Q&A section, so when we finished that we had like an hour before the actual show. And during that one in-between hour, there was a Mewtwo raid in Pokemon Go, which doesn't happen too often. So you already know that Dom, Ross, James, and I were frothing at the mouth. Oh my god, we gotta get that Mewtwo. After the Q&A, we all got up calmly, walked off stage, and when we were out of sight, literally bolted out the back door of the venue and ran down the street to a Mewtwo raid. By the time we finished it, there was a crowd of like 30 people also catching Mewtwo. Not people who watched our videos, just normal people who all just wanted to taste the new style. We all caught a Mewtwo and actually had time to get another before the show starts. So there was a march of 30 people just playing Pokemon Go, working together to get Mewtwo. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. Also, James got a shiny 3-star totally all by himself. Ross definitely didn't help him. And made us all jealous. The tour was so fun. I couldn't have chosen a better group of friends to travel and do a show with. The team that helped us was amazing, and the shows were so fun to perform. Every city had an amazing audience, especially the ones that I won, and it was a really surreal experience. I really want to thank you for helping me get to this point, and I still can't believe I get to do awesome stuff for a living.
So now you might be saying, "Man, that sounded like a great tour. I'm sad I missed it." Well, this end card is the one for you because we're actually doing 2 more Scribble Showdown tours. In July, we're going to Phoenix, San Antonio, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Chicago, Cincinnati, Toronto, Canada. Then in October, we're hitting Los Angeles, Orlando, Atlanta, Nashville, Brooklyn, and London in the UK. So if you're in the area,
Hey, didn't actually dislike. I thought you would have done. I'll check it out. That's so strange.
Also, I'm recording this on my phone because I don't have my microphone right now.
May the elder gods protect us.
my first memory as a child is being strapped down with belts to a Whenever since I was little, I've had a really intense fear of the dentist. I'm not sure why. I mean, yeah, going to the dentist is a bit freaky, but even as an adult, I understand the fact that I'm not in any danger, and the dentist is just trying to pick out bits of plaque I've built up over the past 6 months. If anything, I should be scared of how much they show.
Should I get the Walking Dead game? I know it's like the new one on PS4.
Which is still kind of scary because they're always so aggressive about it. Every memory I have of going to
find it.
Just a loadable. No, I still want it. When I was in 6th grade, my parents decided to finally slap some braces on my mouth. My teeth were pretty straight, but I had an overbite, so I just looked like a nice horse. My mom made an appointment with the orthodontist to talk about the process, and while there, he told me I've still got 5 baby teeth, and I'll need to pull them out
It's
before I
apparently
get
easy
braces
platinum.
for common sense purposes.
It's like over
So they
1,000
sent me out,
points.
and I basically had a month to pull out all 5 teeth before they were going to have to rip them out for me, which I did not like the idea of. The imagery of them sticking a needle in my mouth fueled both my motivation and intense overwhelming fear, and I wiggled those 5 baby boys every single day since that meeting. A few of them weren't even wiggling yet, so it was going to be a race against the clock. By the end of the month, I managed to pull out 3 teeth on my own. A PB. But it wasn't enough, which meant my mom was going to have to schedule that dreaded nightmare appointment where they were going to shove needles down my throat. I was in the living room and could hear her make the call, which made my stomach sink, and I felt petrified that doomsday was going to be my reality in a few days. I could hear them preparing all 100 needles in a barrel. That little reality check was enough to fear charge me into new power levels, because
Yeah, I think that's it. 11 right now.
I'd ripped out the last 2 of my teeth. The conversation where my mom had to cancel the extraction
I mean, it's not a long game, it's
2
only
hours after she
5
booked it
episodes.
was the biggest feeling of relief I've ever had. She also ended up paying me
But I have to get that
$75
game.
because she said I just saved her like $500 for yanking the teeth out myself and not having to pay the dentist to do it. Jade went on to never have anything scary done to her teeth. She continued to live a happy life, only needing to go to the dentist for cleanings and no food to help her sleep. She got her first teeth fixed. Last year in June, I had to get my wisdom. My wisdom teeth had been growing in and showing their aggressiveness into the speed. My mom intended to get them removed when I turned 18, but I think she forgot, and I thought I could get away with it, but they were starting to get really painful and annoying. One was coming in sideways, which made my gums get in the way while I ate, which made me only chew food on the left side of my mouth for like a whole year. I'd had enough and figured I just needed to get it over with and have
You already
I
killed
scheduled
me.
an appointment to get them removed
I don't
this
think it's a
fall
season
and
pass.
and braced for impact the rest of the week. Before the extraction, they wanted to have a meeting with me to discuss the process of what they're doing and how they're doing it. They put out
It needs to be a season pass to be worth it.
promotional videos and everything seemed fine until we
But then it's usually 10 for like every episode.
in the video they said that some sort of gas is used to induce conscious sedation, a big pound that makes you go leaky and not remember anything. But then the nurse piped in and said, and that the video continued. So what? I'm just gonna keep going on to get a needle and drill and probe my nose? It's the second watch this video, I said. Medication called Valium that'll help calm me down, which was relieving to hear. All I wanted was
They came in Batman as the one cut by this. Can you not, woman?
my roommate and I got into the car to talk, and that's when it really sunk in. This medication isn't doing anything for me. Apparently, Valium's supposed to relax you enough so that you're awake, but don't really care what's happening. But by the time the dentist was telling me back to the chair, my nerves were still going to pay this proof of consciousness. I desperately asked the dentist if I could take another one because one told me to do that to me, but she said I'll be fine. They lifted me back in the chair, put that mouth opener thing in my mouth, put sunglasses on me so I don't hurt my sensitive little eyes, and put the first needle into my
And it's only coming at 1.
That's when I couldn't hold it anymore. Fear was overwhelming me the entire day, but that was the moment
I'll have to look what the platinum rate is.
down my face and I
It's like coming up 2, but not. But they're the same.
I was able to and yanking it out of my gums, and God knows what else, probably just playing tic-tac-toe with needles in there for the heck of it. Was horrifying. I'm not scared of much, and I'm relatively reasonable for the most part, so it was really surprising.
Yeah, I'm just mashing buttons.
Genuine, uncontrollable
From the
fear.
beginning.
Like,
I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
but my body was freaking out, and then my head was like, dude, chill, and then my body was like...
I mash buttons really quickly though. I think that's fine. It doesn't really... I think I clicked buttons way too quickly. There's no platinum on it.
As you wish, Mother.
And it's only Bond as well. I'll add it to the list, just in case if I do get donations. It is on there.
Ever met someone who is so extremely dumb that they don't know how stupid they actually are? Ever tried to explain a new concept to someone who clearly doesn't get it? Well, you're not alone. Researchers have come up with a theory that explains why the less we know about something, the more confident we are in our ability to master it. So there's a term for dumb and dumber? Yes, and it is more common than you might think. Join us today as we explore
it's only
the
a 10
avenues
or
of
so.
dumbness.
Not too
In this
bad.
episode of the Infographic Show, what is the Dunning-Kruger effect? Named after Cornell University researchers David Dunning and Justin Kruger, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a condition in the field of psychology where an intellectually challenged individual fails to adequately assess the extent of their own intelligence or lack thereof. Armed with an unhealthy bias of illusory superiority, these low-ability people cannot objectively evaluate their own mental shortcomings. In other words, they are too stupid to know how stupid they are. In 1999 study, Unskilled and Unaware of It, Dunning and Kruger studied the criminal
That's like over 1,000 points to be worth it.
bank robber who disguised himself by covering his face with lemon juice. His rationale being that the chemical
Which
properties
one's
of
gonna give
lemon
like,
juice are used in invisible
I think
ink,
80.
therefore should render him invisible to the bank
So
security.
if you want like
An
100
easy
points
enough
maybe.
mistake, and one that cost him his
Not
freedom.
one.
After he was easily caught by the cops,
Just
the
stop mashing
wannabe
buttons.
thief was shown the video surveillance footage of himself robbing the banks. Genuinely surprised that his plan hadn't worked, Wheeler was without the required mental capabilities to figure out the gap in his own reasoning. Other investigations followed, and the Dunning-Kruger's 2003 paper, Why Do People Fail to Recognize Their Own Incompetence, observed the following. Successful negotiation of everyday life would seem to require people to possess insight about deficiencies in their intellectual and social skills. However, people tend to be blissfully unaware of their incompetence. This lack of awareness arises because poor performers are doubly cursed. Their lack of skill deprives them not only of the ability to produce correct responses, but also of the expertise necessary to surmise that they are not producing them. People base their perceptions of performance, in part, on their preconceived notions about their skills. A good example of the Dunning-Kruger effect in action would be the early audition rounds of a talent show open to the famed crazy public. British pop star wannabe Warren Wald became a mini-celebrity when he auditioned for the show Pop Idol in 2003 with a rendition of the 1980s track, Eye of the Tiger. He sang the song so badly that the public adored him. Warren, who led a simple life, suddenly became a tabloid newspaper sensation. He gave interviews on television and radio, and the YouTube clip of him singing went viral. Warren had no apparent idea just how badly he sang until the nature of his fame came to light. When the penny dropped, Warren realized he was being celebrated for his guts and determination rather than his promise as a vocalist. His singing career is currently on hold. The public does have a tendency to champion underdogs, and this tends to reinforce the Dunning-Kruger effect. Studies have shown that the Dunning-Kruger effect is not limited to the mentally challenged. High-performing individuals can also overestimate their abilities. In fact, most of us do it a lot of the time. The way to break out of the habit takes bravery and a level of humility that is uncommon in most people. We have to ask for feedback from a trusted source and be prepared for an honest response. So if you feel you have a talent for singing, perhaps test your theory on a few honest people before appearing on national television. What we now call the Dunning-Kruger effect is what the scientists used to call metacognition, thinking about thinking. Perhaps the less we know about a topic, and the simpler it appears, the easier it is to ascribe some sort of understanding of it. We must be careful. We could well be one of the many Dunning-Kruger sufferers walking around blissfully ignorant of our ignorance.
I'll have to wait till like the 26th
you watched somebody do? Were they aware they were doing it, or were they blissfully ignorant? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video called What Are the Signs That You Are a Psychopath? Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share,
wait, I need that video.
See you next time.
Where is it? Ah, got that in just that time. What are the signs that you're a psychopath? Because I think I am. You not crazy lady? Oh, now I'm dead. Nothing to it. Oh, no, can't reset it. I thought there was more to that, but is there?
will always hold a special place in my empty heart, not because I have fond memories working there, but because some of you really liked it when I talked about working there. And I made buckets with those videos compared to what I was making at Subway, which was nice. Apparently I was hashtag relatable enough to connect with millions of people, and it took my channel to where it is today. And then less than 2 weeks later, I made a part 2 to that video, and I struck an even bigger chord with people. Who likes the sequel better than the original? People think that I use the word Subway in my videos so I wouldn't get sued. This is not true. I wasn't successful enough to get sued. They had other problems to deal with at the time. I called it Subway for a joke. In my first video, I said, I used to work at a very small local sandwich shop. I don't know if any of you guys heard of it. It's called Subway. I was making you think that I worked at an unknown place, and then I subverted your expectations by saying I worked at Subway. But now, at this point in my career, I am calling my previous place of employment Subway because I don't want to get sued. The most requests I get for a video is Subway Part 4, but I never really considered making another one because I don't work there anymore. I have no new stories to talk about the place. But something happened recently, and I do want to talk about it. You see, the Subway I used to work at closed down. And I am so deeply upset at this news that the only way for me to cope is to make one last video about it. So this story happened a couple of years after I quit working at Subway. I was behind on a video, so that meant I was in a mentally damaging mindset called crunch mode, and I had been working all day, and I started getting hungry, and I still hadn't taken Coupon a lot, so I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and eat Flute. Just kidding, I decided to take Flute on a walk to my local Subway. And before I entered the store, I picked up Flute and held her in my arms, because I'm not a psychopath. I know taking your dog into a restaurant
technically we all are.
and a health code
We just need
violation.
something to trigger that.
This is a Subway we're talking about. I know how laid back it is here. There are no rules or health codes. One time when I was working at my Subway, this 10-year-old kid came in wearing a swimsuit and literally nothing else. And he was unsupervised. He didn't want a sandwich, all he wanted was a cookie, but this kid wasn't wearing shoes or a shirt. The 2 things you need to get service at a restaurant. So did I tell this shirtless delinquent to get lost? No, he had money, so I did business with him. I don't discriminate against shirtless people. Look, his mom was probably at the grocery store next door, and he just got done with swimming lessons and said something like, "Mother, I would be most grateful if you let me consume a pastry with high levels of sugar and simple carbohydrates." And his mom probably said, "Yeah, whatever, nerd, go get something at Subway." So the point of this story is to let you know that I was the kind of employee who, as long as you were willing to pay for your food, didn't care what you were
Like,
wearing
I know
or
like
what
a lot of
clothing you
games
were
like
violating.
to get a platinum
This is a
on.
gosh darn Subway. So I walk in
What
with
it's like
food, and
having
it's
money.
completely empty, by the way. Seems like I'm the only one in this town that even likes Subway, and the worker, aka the only other person in the store, said, "Is that a service animal?" Floop's not a service animal. Unless the service you want is someone to chew up all your stuff and bark at everyone. But she still emotionally supports me when I tell her, I'm gonna die alone. She tries to make me feel better by licking the inside of my nose. But I didn't want to lie to this guy about Floop's emotional support status, because if I said yes, and he said prove it, I would be in trouble. So like the emotionally stable enough to not need a dog person that I am, I said, no. And he said, "She can't be in here. If the health inspector came in, they would fire me on the spot." I was like, "Jeez, dude, you gonna let the health inspector treat you like that? Stand up for yourself once in a while." So I said, "Okay, I'll leave." Yeah, there are other restaurants in walking distance, Subway guy. The ramen place lets me order with Floof in my arms all the time. I know this because I've already been there twice this week, and the only reason I'm even getting Subway is because I don't want the ramen employees thinking that I'm a weird guy who brings my non-emotional support dog everywhere. You missed out, Subway. Do you know who I am? I used to work here. And then the guy called my bluff. He said,
Wait, how are you at 36,000 but you have no
as fast as Jimmy
platinum?
John's? This kid's standing up for himself. I'm proud of him. I knew exactly what to tell him. I want a foot-long
What?
ham sandwich on Italian bread with American cheese. I know that's the hardest cheese to pull apart with gloves on, but whatever.
shouldn't be at
He sped run putting on the
36,000.
meat and cheese, and then he asked me, what kind of vegetables? And in my mind, I went, hold on. You didn't ask me if I wanted it toasted.
Yeah, it was
I see
2,000
what you're doing.
bonds.
You're trying
Not
to get this
2,000
sandwich
platinum.
finished as quickly as
2,000
possible,
bonds.
so you're not even going to ask me if I want it toasted
So
and
it
hope I
shouldn't be at
forgot.
36,000.
Well, it's okay, because I didn't want it toasted, but I'm onto you. And then Floof jumped over the counter, peed on the olives, and bit the guy in the jugular. And then licked the inside of his nose. Some people take their job way too seriously. Well, at least some Subway workers are more laid back like me. Like this one time not too long ago, I went back to the Subway I used to work at, and I didn't recognize any of the people there. But someone did get recognized in that store. Me.
It shows you all the fatalities, I
"Are you
didn't
the
realise
guy
that.
that made the cartoon about working here?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I decided to make his job interesting by telling him, "Hey kid, this is the place." What? "This is where it all happened, kid. These floors are the very same floors that I used to mop." You missed a spot over there. "And this kid lost all 6 of his olives." Okay, I don't use my fame to get into places I'm not supposed to, usually. But this kid was so excited, and I used to work here, so I asked him, "Can I go in the back?" Which is probably breaking a bajillion health code violations, but this kid didn't care, he let me in. It had been 3 years since I had been back there, and literally nothing had changed. I don't know if any of you have ever moved out of your parents' house and then 3 years later you went back to visit and saw your childhood bedroom, but it was that sort of feeling. The chip boxes were still in the same place, inside the freezer all the food was pretty much where I left it, and the bulletin board had all the same papers. One of the papers was a list of all the employees with their names and phone numbers, and that list was so old that it still had all of my old coworkers' names and numbers, and it even had my own name and number still on the sheet. It had been crossed out, but I still went, "Ah!" and I punched it out with a pencil. Maybe that's how my phone number got leaked. And then I thought, I wonder if the other number is still here. In the very back of the room, there was this desk, and I got down on the gross, unmopped floor, and I scooted underneath the desk, and oh my gosh, it's still here. When I used to work there, one of my coworkers found the store's Wi-Fi password and wrote it down on the bottom side of the desk, so then everyone could watch Netflix instead of work. And the employee had no idea it was there, and he typed it into his phone, and it still worked. All right, don't tell people that I told you this, I said. We can't let anyone know this secret. But then the place closed down, so now no one can get in trouble. Anyways, I'm gonna miss that place. It was gross, and I didn't love working there, but in the end, it was the most memorable job I had as a teenager, as it was the only other job that I had. It formed a good work ethic, I made new friends, and I even got to eat free food sometimes. But now I might get sued for this video, so we'll see what happens. So now, every time I walk into Subway with my non-service animal, a little part of me will be sad that my old Subway is in ruins. Okay, maybe it's not in ruins, but they'll probably turn it into a nail salon or something. Nothing lasts forever, so it's time to give Subway a proper burial.
I have one of the rarest trophies, I just realised, in GTA 5. Like rarest trophy on the PlayStation. I can type GTA. Just to make sure I still work on it. To make sure it did actually pop, because I did do what it just said to do. Why is that music just going off? Like, there's so many platinums, like, can be easily obtained. I might click on page 3. I might click on page 12.
Ahoy and howdy, this is Phantom Strider. Let's visit the darker side of Bikini Bottom. Occasionally, we'll get times where SpongeBob might be unsettling or maybe even shocking. As SpongeBob has gotten into its later
Here's
seasons,
813
the creators have become more daring
easy
with some of the
platinums.
concepts and imagery they try.
Yeah, watching SpongeBob
So
go.
let's enjoy the creepiness together. Let's check out the top 5 creepiest SpongeBob episodes. Number 5.
You know, I
Planet of
rarely
the
watch
Jellyfish.
SpongeBob.
Deep in the jellyfish fields, we see an eerie, translucent creature that isn't quite
I think I only watched
jellyfish
like
or sea creature.
one episode.
Its brains are clearly visible, and it digests the one jellyfish that goes near it. From these jellyfish remains, it creates an empty-minded zombie army of jellyfish to do its bidding and spread the alien parasite. Whether it's in cartoons or movies, whenever I see these alien domination episodes, they always kind of creep me out. The takeovers tend to be so subtle and insidious. SpongeBob unwittingly helps the alien drone of Patrick to spread the parasite to all his friends.
Well, we've given everyone a jellyfish except Squidward. He probably doesn't want one.
He will take one and like it.
Making them all helpless drones of the jellyfish army.
Good night, Squidward.
There will be plenty of biting this night.
One particularly creepy part is when SpongeBob is at home at night, and one of the jellyfish keeps trying to subtly bite into SpongeBob's head while he isn't looking. And just look at Krabs here. Those eyes are downright horrifying.
Please accept this free jellyfish hunting steak. Thank you. Come again.
Every citizen of Bikini Bottom gradually becomes possessed
Then don't come
drones of
again
this
because it's just
alien
going to be
organism, except
crappy
for Sin,
stream.
who eventually uses mayonnaise to help SpongeBob work out a way to save everyone.
We know your weakness. Show 'em, SpongeBob.
Number 4. I was once a teenage Gary. This episode is notorious for ghoulish transformations. SpongeBob is off to the annual jellyfish convention, leaving Squidward in charge of Gary.
You guys deserve a weekend away.
You'll do it? Great! Let me show you a little bit about snail care.
But Squidward forgets to feed Gary, and we soon discover he's starving to death.
I gotta do something.
When they take Gary to the doctor, Squidward accidentally injects SpongeBob with snail plasma. Soon after, SpongeBob's eyes gouge out. And in a surprisingly disturbing scene, he mutates into a snail sponge thing. What makes this episode so ominous is seeing SpongeBob transform into something
second round for the
isn't
hardest
quite
plot one.
snail, yet isn't quite sea creature either. It's like some creepy homunculi or something. Squidward barricades his door, but nothing will keep this snail sponge thing from invading his house. And like many horrors, it eventually leads to the protagonist becoming the horror.
I'm just gonna get the AI type.
Squidward are turned into snails
some
indefinitely.
thought.
Though they're back to normal in the next episode, so I don't know, maybe Sandy fixed them up or something. And the third creepiest SpongeBob episode is Ghoul Fools. This one was a tricky decision between Ghost Host for some of the imagery the Flying Dutchman shows SpongeBob, or this one. And even though Ghost Host is the funnier, more enjoyable episode, I'd say Ghoul Fools is a lot creepier. Ghoul Fools had a lot more jump scares, creepy moments, and unsettling imagery. Screaming doorknobs, snakes jumping inside SpongeBob, mutilation of Gary, even the bleak design of Lord Poltergeist is strangely less toony than the rest of Bikini Bottom, while story-wise is a pretty subpar Season 8 episode. What makes this episode so unnerving is the way it ends. When the Flying Dutchman finally tracks down Lord Poltergeist, he just outright drops a ghostly nuclear bomb on him. And then, well, I'm not actually sure what happens. Are SpongeBob and the crew in some sort of afterlife? They still seem to be working the Krusty Krab. But when we get a glimpse of the outside of the Krusty Krab, we see they're being held by a giant, disturbing, cackling SpongeBob wraith of some sort. Or is it the Flying Dutchman? I don't know. I really found this ending strangely unsettling for a SpongeBob episode. And the second creepiest SpongeBob episode is Graveyard Shift. We start this episode with Krabs deciding to keep the Krusty Krab open 24 hours with 2 employees. Really, Krabs? You couldn't just hire one more person?
Can't just cross the first LT.
Only we'll be
There's worse ones than that as well, but I'm not going to put the worst ones on.
Understandably, I'm guessing no one else is willing to work for crabs but these two. During the night shift, Squidward starts telling SpongeBob stories about the spatula-handed fry cook, aka the hash-slinging slasher. A lot of people call this the creepiest episode, but I don't think it's till the second half that this episode starts to get really creepy. At 3 a.m., we watch Squidward standing quietly in the dark, lifeless, empty restaurant as a strange, unknown sound begins to slowly approach.
They're not the source of my power.
After he discovers this is SpongeBob, the lights begin to flicker, just as the hash-slinging slasher was meant to do, as well as the music taking on that unsettling horror ambience. We also get a lot of those creepy horror tropes from B-grade horror movies. Suddenly, an unknown bus arrives, and a strange, spatula-handed creature enters the Krusty Krab. But it turns out it was just a shy fellow looking for a job.
Can I have a job application? I brought my own spatula.
I really do wish Krabs had hired this guy. I mean, for one, it shows real dedication to your job to come out to a restaurant at 3 a.m. I imagine Squidward wouldn't mind his shift getting dropped a bit. I expect he'd appreciate the time off. And personally, I think the #1 creepiest SpongeBob episode is Krabby Patty Creature Feature. Yeesh, how does no one ever talk about this episode? This one is about as creepy as I've ever seen SpongeBob get. We discover Mr. Krabs does secret experiments on modifying his patties, which leads him and Sandy turning the entire town into deformed humanoid hamburger horrors. They essentially transform other fish by feeding them their own insides. It's kind of creepy. It almost feels like a body horror trope in this one. You thought SpongeBob turning into a snail was bad? How about watching every Bikini Bottom citizen's insides burst and fill with patty meat? Or fuse together, forming some sort of zombie patty fish monster? No one is spared. Even the children are surrounded and mutated. There's just something about seeing all the characters we know and love mutated into disturbing shells of their former selves that really creeps me out.
Oh, the ass singing
All SpongeBob's friends turning against it. The entire city is set ablaze. Again, there's fire, underwater, really, and smoke. Despite the fact that we are at the bottom of the ocean underwater, there is fire. Alright, well, anyway, Bikini Bottom soon becomes a dangerous, hellish landscape. Krabby Patty Creature Feature just came out of nowhere, with some surprisingly intense body horror scenes, combined with one of the weirdest zombie concepts I've ever seen in a cartoon. I personally consider Krabby Patty Creature Feature the creepiest SpongeBob episode. Well, just checking out some of these particularly creepy SpongeBob episodes with me. These sort of darker episodes are fun to discover, so if you happen to know any that I missed, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.
That's why you only stream on the mod if the story mode.
I can't guarantee it'll be
Because it's like 2 hours like painful in there.
Because again, YouTube is product. But you never know, it might be of interest to you by some random chance of extreme luck.
I mean, if it comes on sale, then I may get it, but it's £11.99, but I can't really get it. I mean, I probably could, although 26. Maybe. I've done that. Whacked his head off the air on the table. Hurts like a bitch as well.
Round 2. Fight.
Okay, empty, that's me. This is good, isn't it? I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is watch videos and talk to chat. For 2 hours. Oh, until 4 till 5. I mean 6. So in 2 hours. Just realised I started the stream like 2 minutes late. Don't matter anyway. Like the Walking Dead game. It's 5 episodes, so if it's like one episode like 2 hours, which it usually is, then I'll get like 5 days worth of streaming. Because I'll just stream from 4 till 6 until 3 till whatever, and hopefully it lasts longer.
As the wind blows, these are the laws of living in vogue. We're perfectly imperfect children, rose from the dust. All of us are on a mission. Never gave a fuck, really came from rags to riches. Now we live it up, driving with the rooftop missing. I don't give a fuck, really came from rags to riches. Now I live it up, driving with the rooftop missing. I ain't no I ran away, I don't think I'm coming back home.
Yes, I'm going. Well, pretty much all of it.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, this song again. It went through like a song that was made, then a song to like you guys.
Such a beautiful day, the sun's shining in a beautiful way. Gonna take a shower, brush my teeth, then life is ultimately meaningless. But I'll get out of the house, get on the road, top down, hands out, my favorite.
That's me in the background. This guy. Like the other ones out is using and the other one that I can't. They're the same negative stuff. I like how they added Arnold in here. The only reason he made this something right, because he's got the dream job, like everyone that wants. He does a great job of that. Just staying at home playing the games like you want. Then animating videos. I have like something like you can easily get patterns and stuff.
You're a slave to people born richer than you. Then screw it! I'll keep going in, then I'll party on the weekend and sing! No, thanks to auto-tune. Healthy people still get cancer. I love this show. It's the last episode. The sun is shining. It's going to explode. Every species is beautiful and unique though. Children have malaria thanks to mosquitoes. I met a cute girl with a ponytail. Statistically, that relationship is going to fail. I have a wonderful family. It's like no other. You're not special and one day you'll bury your mother. No matter what, I can find a home. We will all die alone. There's amazing potential in every human on Earth. There's no escape in the heat death of the universe. I don't have to live life based on negative thoughts. No matter how bad they are, they're just thoughts. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, really? Yeah, that seems reasonable. Wait, but you were just telling me that. Come on, I don't know. Maybe that's how you want me to force me to do anything. I'm just saying. Oh. Well, in that case. Enjoy it while it lasts.
No, I don't know. Which scorpion though?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Yeah, tunnel vision on the floors. In the scale of things, it's an importance. So no talking, but it's still an intrusive thought. Tried hard to correct it. Yeah, but nothing was effective. No one else seemed so obsessed with it. Things were desperate until the voice crept in. I can help you. Trust me, you're ready. It seemed dangerous, but it didn't have faith in it. The secret is to just speak empty. Didn't know it was wise to listen, but what could it hurt to try?
At first it was working, but then things were emerging. Cracked lips and tired eyes. I'm hungry with no appetite. I'm shivering and shaking and I tell myself it's fine. But you can't fool your body, you can only fool your mind. Yeah, empty. I just need to be empty. Hide from anybody who'll prevent me. Just fill up on water and shame. No, I'm not hungry, I say. I developed a taste for this, endured a never-ending ache. Convince myself I'm in control and it's not all the voice that makes me sick.
Inside it's empty. I know it's wrong, I'm looking, but I can't see myself. Inside it's empty. I know it's wrong, but it's so hard to stop.
I think I'm in the stream now.
All the days begin to merge. Yeah, just a blurry haze, and now it's almost second nature to ignore the urges. Can't trust my own nature.
That's that way too soon, but you know I'm gonna end it.
tongue. Don't wanna stay in embarrassment. Just have to stomach it.